guys, welcome to Monday night's Craft Cave Live. An extra one that we put in. Well, actually, we didn't put in, Sam put in. And as you can hear, Sammy isn't well. Because of everything in the hospital and stuff, he's picked up the cold that I think I had last week. But it's hitting him for
I'm not even...
So he's not even putting it anywhere near my face, paying no attention. So I'm sorry if the camera moves a lot or you hear a lot of coughing. It's because Sammy's not well. But since he decided I would do this tonight, and I found out when I got in from Stoneleigh last night, I thought it was a good way to do it. So, right, tonight we've had quite a few questions through. Again, pop your questions, say hello. A couple of things I wanted to mention to people is it work? Are you playing with your phone? Is it actually working?
I don't know.
Oh, right.
I've got a blank screen on John's.
Okay.
Can everyone let me know if it's working?
Can you let us know if
please?
it's working and you can see us? If you can't, don't worry, we'll start again.
Oh, wait, oh.
No?
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah. Is it? Yay.
Yeah,
Hello.
it's working.
A couple of things I wanted to mention, guys. Loads of people have mentioned to me. I say loads of people. Auntie Marion said it. I can't say hello to everybody who's clicking on and watching because I don't know. So if I was filming it myself, then I could see on the screen who was doing it. But because Sam films it for me, we get a lot better filming.
Okay.
And it means I can't... Oh, I can now, can I? Hello, Elaine. Hello, Pauline. Hello, Elaine. Hello, Leslie Lakin. Hello, Leslie. Hello, everybody. Angela, June. Yes, she can see me. I can't see you, June. Right, so tonight we've had quite a lot of questions and things, so I'm going to go through all your questions. As I say, Craft Cave Lives are really built around what people want to see and what you want to know and techniques and tips and anything that you can think of that you want to actually see. So any questions you've got while we're going live, put them in there, put them on the post. Sam's trying hard not to laugh or cough. I don't know which.
Gloria's just put, evening babe, love the shirt, John. Is that done with the icing products? And if not, why not?
It's not, no. Because if I'd done it myself, it would probably be
bigger.
bigger.
It says who it's by.
It does, so I'm not advertising
We're not
John
advertising or
Rocher.
anything.
But if you're watching, John, you can send me some T-shirts now. I've got a real feeling John Rocher will not be watching me.
I don't think he will.
Somehow not. Right, guys, so one of the we've had three main questions that have been asked tonight that I'm going to go through. So, I'm going to start at the back. Start at the back end. We've got triple stamping, which I've been asked about. I've also been asked about the foil rose leaves, so we'll be doing those. Don't put your hand on your machine for too long with a metal plate on there, John.
No, I wasn't.
And we've been asked about the poinsettia in foam. Now the poinsettia is back in stock. I can do it because as much as we don't do these to sell or anything else, if I do demo something on here that isn't available, then people shout at me and say, you've just shown me how to use that and I can't get it. But I know loads of you have got the poinsettia. We've so many people have got it. I absolutely love it, which is why I haven't done a new one this year. I won't do a new one next year, but there might be a new bit to go over it. So I'm going to set some through the machine first just to explain how, from anyone who's basic. Now, just want to explain about the foam again. This is the Craft Artist foam. I'm using the white tonight. I normally do my poinsettias in red.
Tonight.
White tonight. White lines.
No.
Go away. So I'm showing my age there, aren't I?
Yes,
I
Nicky.
can't get the song out of my head. Ticket to Ride, White Line Home. Sorry. Yeah, I was a kid then, very young. I'm using the white Craft Artist foam. I keep saying this every time. The only difference in the foams is the thickness. Craft Artist is 0.6. So I'm using this foam. This is the one I use and recommend because it's thin enough to be able to mould by hand. And because it's thin, I'm using 2 sheets and I'm cutting them both together. So just going to run that through my machine as normal. But while that's cutting, I have got some I've already cut in good Blue Peter fashion. So I've got some here, but you can see, just going to separate them. When they come out, I've got 2 layers. So I can separate out 2 layers there really easily. Now, I'll just take the die cut out, just so you can see that it's cut and how it's cut. So there we go, cut through. And I get all 6 sizes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. What's the weather like at where you are? Because it's blowing a gale here suddenly.
It's been raining.
And it's been raining. And it was beautiful this morning, wasn't it, when we went shopping? It was lovely. Right, so
Whoa. Before we move on,
Yeah.
Leslie's just put that Rob invited us round for dinner. And
Yeah,
you
but
didn't
not
tell
a chance
me.
to tell
No,
you
you've
yet.
not told me.
After the NEC, sorry. And Leslie's going to cook.
Leslie doesn't cook though, does she?
She's going to cook everything from scratch.
No,
We're having
no.
homemade... No, I'm
No,
take
no,
away. Right. So, what I've got here, I'm just using one of the actual press to impress acetate sheets, just because it stops me getting my tabletop mucky and they're easy to clean. But any sort of non-stick craft mat or anything, any glass top, anything you've got. Now, I'm using pigment ink. And I'm using pigment ink, again, because it's opaque and because it's got the glycerin in it. It means that it's a slower drying, it's an easier blending, and it gives me a lovely solid colour. And when it's pulled out, it really looks quite nice. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be swapping to something new colouring the foam very, very soon, which a few of the angels have got, and even Sam's got a big smile on his face.
I played with it and it's fantastic.
Sam's been playing with it, he loves it. But for now, I'm going to show you with this. So, take some onto my finger dauber, and I'm just going to roughly, don't spend time, Mother Nature has a very broad brush. So, spending hours delicately going around won't achieve anything. So, around the edges, blob in the middle. Yeah, let's just take one of a bit smaller down, because we'll do a 3 layer. Same again, just adding a bit of colour on the edges of the petals. Really quite simple, a little blob in the middle. And then again on the third one, ink around the edges. Little bit of blob in the middle. Okay, all done, sorted. So now I'm going to shape and mould them. So, the best way to explain pulling the foam is if you've got a t-shirt or a top or a blouse or something that you feel is that little bit too short or a little bit too small, and you put your arms into it and you kind of pull it apart, if that makes sense. That's what we're doing. We're pulling the fibres of this. If you watch there, I'm not stroking it, I'm not being gentle, I'm actually pulling the fibres almost to stretch them. Then I'm going to take the end, I'm going to pull, and I'm going to twist. And if you look how hard I'm twisting, so pull it open, pull it out, and sort of screw it up. Yeah? We want these to look natural.
Hi, Maxine.
Not all beautifully done. So again, pull it out, twist it, pull it out, pull and twist. And I'm screwing it up, and I can really, add more twists in, pull it out, really stretch it. And we go then from that flat to that with the shape and the movement. You can see there, okay? So I'm going to do 2 more just to show you. So again, pull, twist, pull, twist. Literally you can screw it up, get it curled. It's so thin. It's very much like using sugar paste, if anyone's done that, but we just don't treat it quite as gently. So there again, you see you've got another sort of bedraggled set of petals. And here, and move it along. Same again. Just the same technique. Whoops, I pulled a petal off. And, the flowers don't all have the same number of petals, so when that happens, don't worry about it. It'll all add in.
Question.
So I've got there. Yes.
What foam is it again?
It's the Craft Artist Flower Moulding Foam, which is 0.6mm. I think I have somewhere. This is from the Christmas pack. If anyone's wondering, that's what it looks like. Obviously, the white pack I'm using just doesn't have the colours there. So that's the front, that's the brand, that's the back. All these pictures were taken by me. These were all in the apartment.
Hooray.
Yes. So I took all of these pictures, wrote all of this up. So this has not been some technical expert who's done these photos or, think this is me. I tested it. I'm the one who actually did this and did the instructions and wrote them. So you'll probably find a spelling mistake in there somewhere because it's me.
Right, next question. Does the foam work on the ivy leaves? Ooh.
It does. You've got to be quite careful when you're pulling. Mainly because you've got to be careful when you're pulling anyway, haven't you? But because you've got very fine bits, so you've got some very fine sections in the ivy leaf. Do you want to just turn behind you, Uncle Sam? there's a card there that Ange's done. That's perfect. Here's my birthday card from Ange. I love this one. No, it's not. But you can see here, look how fine these lines are in between. So you've got to be very careful. What may happen when you cut it is that you may actually, the leaves may come off. So just make the leaves individually. I'll tell you what we'll do. Once I put this flower together, why don't I cut some of those?
Hi, Helen.
That's the best answer.
As in Scarface.
Is that
Helen.
Scarface battered, Helen?
Yeah, bless her. America, hi America. Hazel, Sandra, Jan.
Hello.
Lots of people.
Hello, lots of people. Right, this is just a set of stamens that I've grouped together and pulled off random out of my stash here. We are looking to do something like this, so as soon as we get something like this, I'll let you know. And all I'm going to do is take the smallest one to start with. In fact, I've got a little smaller one there. I'd already
Hi,
done.
Annette. Hi, Nikki.
I'm just going to push the wire from it through and pull it up over to the end. You see when I'm almost there, you see when I'm at that point there, that's when I'm going to take a little bit of hot glue and just put a little bit of hot glue in there, and then just pull it up onto that and kind of pinch it round. Can you see? So you create a little like wedge. Yeah, I can then start to thread on the next one. You all right?
Yeah, fine.
Sure. Yeah. Sorry for anyone who missed it. Sammy's not. He's not very well. He's got a really bad cold. So.
Courtesy of Jonathan.
Courtesy of me, obviously. But then when we put the next set on, see it starts to build up. So I've got 2 on there. So I'm going to put a third one on. I think I'm going to go with 4 on this one. So again, pull it up. Check that the petals, move them round. But before I add this one, I'm going to add a little bit more hot glue in, just to help to seal it. There we go. Pinch that round. See there? And finally, going to add the largest one on. And you'll take a little bit more time at home and be a little bit more careful. There we go. But can you see then? Take this end, give it a sort of pinch, but there is your sort of naturalistic looking poinsettia. Yeah? Does that look all right? Oops, was that the door or was that the ghost?
Door.
So there we go. Yeah? So you can put together, make a group of those. I've actually made a group of them. I've just got here now. Oh, this is a bit of a sneak peek, isn't it?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just realised that no one should be seeing this till Thursday. So, I'll cut those off. I'm going to cut them off the strings. Where are we? There we go.
Oh, I just thought.
Have you had a thought? That's always dangerous when he has a thought.
A few of them
Yeah.
in the circle.
Ooh,
Yes.
those on the circle. That's what I said, yeah. Ooh, coloured with that. Yes.
Or what's coming out on Thursday
Oh, no.
with them on it.
Oh, yeah, what's coming out on Thursday would
In
look
black
lovely.
and white would look quite nice.
They would. Sorry, guys, we're talking code here.
You'll all find out on Thursday.
Yeah, well, some of it on Thursday.
Or some of it.
So just putting together a little grouping of them. Just putting a little bit of hot glue. Now, I've had loads of people ask me about hot glue. And do you have to use hot glue?
Hi, Mother.
And the answer, no, you don't have to use hot glue. However, it's easier, it's quicker, and I find it works better using the hot glue. There is a new glue we've got coming out. I don't know where mine's hidden.
It's in the box.
On Thursday. Is it in the box?
Yeah.
Which does glue the foam. It takes a little bit longer. But the main reason that people really struggle with glue guns is because we're scared of them. You're not scared of your iron, so you don't burn yourself. I'm not scared of the iron because I don't go near it very often. But if you're scared of it, you're going to burn yourself. The only hot bit is that and the glue. So please be careful, but you do have to make sure. The more you're scared and you're terrified of using it, the more chance you are you're going to burn yourself. So then we've got a little spray of, and again, that could be for a wedding or anything. That really needs a little bit of glitter and glitz adding, doesn't it? So, shall I be really, really naughty?
What?
Shall I give them a little sneak peek from Thursday?
Oh, I want to show my thing off.
You can. Do you want to? Well, I'm going to use your mini thing in a bit, so I'll show your
so
thing
cute.
off. I'm going to be naughty.
I apologise.
I'm hoping this is Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah.
This isn't next week. Sammy's blowing his nose.
So I apologise to everyone because you can hear me coughing and blowing those.
So I'm going to add a little bit of glitter into this. So I'm going to use a little bit of the Crafts 2 glitter.
And whilst John's saying that, I want to show you this.
No! You love that.
Because this is a, what was it, 19 mil?
19
mil of the Craft Artiste Super Tacky Glue. Which, when it's packaged, just looks so cute.
Well, if you look at it against the big size, isn't he cute?
I love it.
He's just so gorgeous. Really love that. Right, so
Anyway, let's move on.
let's hope now that Jane or Peter are watching. So this is new for Thursday. I'll be showing it you on Wednesday night more. This is the brand new glue glaze.
Can you
So
tell
I
me the
will
other way,
explain it through. You want me to be?
Thank you.
Oh, have I got to be like salesy? Hi, an amazing new
We need
from.
to see what it looks
know.
like.
So what this is a clear high shine glue with its own little applicator. And all you do, I love this for flowers. I'm just going to go and lightly touch it through. Just touching wherever I want to. Mainly in the middle of the flowers. And then I can take a clear, I'm going to get a clear for this one. I can then take a clear glitter and add it on. I love this stuff.
Oh no, we're fine about this. Apparently someone's already brought some.
Have they?
Yeah.
There we go.
I don't know how, but...
There we go. So I got a little bit stuck there with static, but the rest of it is glued on. Are we getting that glittery shine?
I think so, yes.
Absolutely love that. Let me put that down while I put the glitter back away. So, you've seen a couple of naughty sneak peeks that really we shouldn't have seen, but I'm going to blame Sammy for
And now
that.
you have to wait until Wednesday.
Yes, you do. So, has anyone got any more questions? I feel like I'm at a normal demo now. So, ladies, has anyone got any more questions about the foam poinsettias or anything on that? Before I move on, that's nice, isn't it? You get to look at them over a pair of scissors. So, I did have the question.
What, and every other single thing that's going to be
What?
the blue ones?
Oh, yeah, sorry, you shouldn't be seeing those either. I don't think. I'm going to try cutting out the ivy with the foam. Actually, the best one for cutting the foam out with would be the holly. That would be lovely. That might even take the stamping. So I've got 2 layers here, and I'm just going to run it through and cut it out as per normal. And while we're doing that, I'll ask any more questions, Mr. Sam? Right. Yeah.
Standard.
Yeah, it's okay. Maxine's got it as well.
The foam John is using is, where's the packet gone?
Is there?
Is the Craft Artiste Flower Moulding Foam. This one is the Xmas pack, but John's using the white.
I'm using the white on the demo today. The Christmas pack is what I normally use for my Christmas poinsettias.
The demo
the green is from that.
For the bleaching technique is on YouTube, but I believe it's been classed as Craft Cave Live and be a number next to it, but there's a description if you click on them as well. I've got to upload next.
Okay.
This end of this week I'll load up all the others we've done as well when I feel a bit better.
Yeah, he's got a lot on at the minute, haven't you, bless him?
Yes.
So there we go. So yes, so this is cutting out the ivy with it.
You've got a bit stuck in there.
Yeah. But as you can see what I said earlier, it's those bits you've got to be very careful of. So I can sort of pull these ivy leaves out, crinkle them. Ooh, I like that.
So if you can't get the foam to stay in shape when you are die cutting it, it's because you are only just putting a single layer through. You want to fold the sheet over to make it a double.
You want to cut 2 layers at once. I always cut 2 layers.
Always 2 layers. If you just do one, you are going to get it to...
You can stretch it sometimes. But yeah, I would shade this first to add a bit more interest to it. But just to go through. There you go. That does look lovely. It just wants a little bit of almost. Let's put it on there. Let's go with. That's why I love doing the Craft Cave lives, because people can really. I learn from what people ask me questions on. So, a little bit of black. Ooh, not a lot, but a little bit of black. I was going to say. Just using, normally I would shade this before I pull it, but just a little bit of black, can you see, to darken it and make it look more realistic. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of red, and I'm using again pigment ink. Because I think there's always a little reddy tinge to your ivy. This one's quite a dry one. There we go. There we go. So there. So you can see how easy it is, because I have never cut this, never practiced it, never shaded it. But then... Oh, I like that. So thank you. Who asked that?
I actually don't know.
Sorry, whoever asked that, thank you. So I'm just going to shade a couple of the leaves first. These are the individuals that come off this die plate. Add a little bit of red in as well. I'm being a little bit more direct with the colour because I'm going to shape them. And then I'm just going to pull this out. You see, I'm pulling each little spike. I'm going to give it a twist. Can you see?
The best way to find the foam is to type in Craft Artiste flower moulding foam, and you'll find it. Many retailers do stock it. I've got sellotape strips.
Yeah, and I think it's one of the items that we've always got on her channel. I think it's on the show on Thursday. So I've got here.
It was Samantha Hughes who was asking.
Oh, thank you, Samantha. There we go. But tucked in. So I'd probably, because I don't like that, I would probably tuck those in a little bit more. There we go. But that's doing the ivy with it. I really like that. I want to put that on the thing. So that's everything I think for the foam. Obviously I've got a lot more I can do, but you've given me, thanks guys, and thanks Samantha, I've got some really good ideas on that now. Bow's too much, isn't it now?
Yeah,
I don't know. I do like a bow. So, right, is there anything else on the foam, guys, before I move on? Has anyone asked anything, Uncle Sam? I've got to stop calling you Uncle Sam, really, haven't I?
Could you do the black card technique on the foam ivy?
What's the black card technique?
I don't know.
You'd need to tell me, guys, what the black card technique is you mean. Because I do a lot and I forget, because I'm old.
No
That's
comment.
what you keep telling. Well, it's what you keep telling me.
No
isn't
comment, I'm afraid.
Right, so we're going to move on, but you can ask any other questions because we've still got plenty of time. So I'm going to do the foil leaves. Like a cymbal going.
Can you stamp onto the foam? Yes, can't you?
You can stamp onto the foam. I don't. The foam really stays on. If you want it to stay on, you need to let it dry before you cut it. So I don't tend to say it stays on. It's not something I use. I've got it. I don't particularly use it. I don't like it. It can damage stamps. It's just my personal feelings. But really, you'd want something like stays on because it is like a plastic, really. So it is a foam. Now, I mean, again, the pigment will go on it, but it will wipe off. It will smear. I'm just heating up my dough press because I got it heated up, but I'm just waiting for it to go. But what I've done is, I've got here, these are the rose foil leaves. So these work just as the normal rose leaves I did. These are exactly the same design, but if you can see, the actual lines there, the deboss lines, are a little bit wider and that a little bit deeper. And I did that so that we'd be able to foil with them if you have a foiling machine. So slightly different process that I've found that works for me. So what I'm going to do is I take a piece of card. So I've got a piece of 300 GSM watercolor card here. And I'm going to take a piece of foam, and the foam I'm using is, what's he saying?
Did you enjoy the show?
Oh, bless. We forgot.
Look at what Chase Clark show.
Yeah. So, got a piece of white card here.
Right, okay, so you put the ivy dye on card, then put it through the die cut machine, and it gave brilliant effects.
Oh, the inking.
Yeah.
No, it won't work with the plate because there's nowhere for the ink to go.
There you go.
It only works with the holly and the ivy corners because they're solid dyes. So it doesn't work on this, but it works on those. And it would work on the foam, but I've got to be honest, it would be absolutely pointless because all you'd end up doing is changing the foam to one solid colour. So
I'm going to get some Bronco stock tomorrow then.
Why? Is that what the people are suggesting?
Haken has advised. I think that's how you say your name, Haken. Might not be.
Probably not. Because how do you pronounce Sarah?
Zara.
Sarah. There's a lovely way with S's. Right, so I've got my card. Yeah? Okay. I've got my foil, and I put my foil down, sort of face up, onto my card. Yeah?
No.
Yeah? And then got my dies, and I've got them, and I've taped them down just because I find it easier, just in 2 strips across there. And these have already been through the machine once. The heat doesn't seem to really hurt the foil. Okay? I'm then going to turn that over and pop that into my Go Press. Yeah? So I'm going to give that a couple of seconds.
You can tell it's well used, and it is John's.
You can tell it's mine, can't you? Yeah. Yeah, because I've been foiling. If you do the ink technique with the pigment dropper inks onto acetate, you can actually foil them afterwards. And they come out absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to add in the metal shim that I get with the machine. And I'm also going to add in...
Hi Chris, hi Diane, hi Terry, Joan, Anne, Maureen, Sharon,
Stephanie,
Debbie, Claire.
Hello.
Gwen, Carol, mate. Oh, there's so many.
Put a shim of card in, yeah. And I'm just... Take it off the base and run it through your die cutting machine. You could use your Big Shot, your e-bosser, anything wide-mouthed. And I'm just going to slowly turn it through.
Slowly does it.
Yeah. Okay. And then I'm just going to turn it back the other way, just so it gets a nice pressure through. Okay. Now, I'm not going to cut these and foil them at the same time. I'm going to take them out. There we go. I'm going to take the shim out. I'm going to take the metal plate out. You can see I've got an impression through, but for speed, and to me I find it a lot easier, I'm then just going to run them through and cut them on a cut sandwich. I've spent ages messing about, trying to work out what's the best sandwich to cut, cut and foil at the same time, and I just can't get it to be right. So do you know what, when something's hard, cheat.
Here you go, Jonathan. There you go, that's how you pronounce it.
Hawkhoon, Old Norwegian.
Yeah.
Hawkhoon. Ah.
No.
Very good.
Yeah, we attempted it.
So you can see there, cut through. So we just take them off as we would do normally. But you do get a bonus doing it this way. And that is, when I actually pop these out, what I'll get is the piece of foil and the foiled piece. So I actually get a bonus of beautiful foiled pieces. Let's take that out. There we go. So that's the foil that's been used. That is the foiled leaf. I absolutely love this. I think it is beautiful. And what you can do, and this is a really good thing to do with the foil pieces, you can actually spray glue those down to a piece of card, pop it back through your foiling machine, and you actually make a sort of foiled background with it. So it's like getting a twofer. So I'll just take the last two out just to show you all 6. But hopefully that answers. You can see there on the white, you've almost got a positive and a negative. And again on the white, positive and a negative. Yeah. And the foiled rose leaves were designed so that they would cut and they would emboss and deboss. So when you fold them in half, if you watch, so just fold it. It's wanting to fold along that curve line. So help it. And that's how I 3D them really easily, is fold it in half. And you see it starts to go on that curve line. So just encourage it to.
Oh, June, you need to use it if you've got one.
June. Has she got herself a foiling machine?
I believe so from the comments.
June, you need to use it. Use it or lose it. You can foil other dies. I will be doing some bits of foiling other dies hopefully at a later stage. So just fold those. I'm not going to fold all of them and spend time. But you can see there, I've got that beautiful. And it's one of those things, if you send people that, they will ask you, how did you do that? They really will want to know, where did you buy those leaves from? How did you actually achieve that?
And that's when you get away with saying, oh, I spent hours making.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right there. But you can see just there like that. And
Don't think Maxine's got one.
shall I be really naughty?
Oh my God, don't.
No, you take that away.
Put that away.
Yeah. So that's the rose foil leaves. I have got those on the Hachanda show on Thursday with the elderflower, so you've actually helped me by asking that, guys, because I can use those in the samples for that.
For anyone that has a foiling machine, now they're not John's videos, there's lots of YouTube videos.
There are.
And they are step-by-step guides and everything, and they're so simple
They really
to use.
are.
They're not, don't be scared because it's hot. It's so
not
simple.
even hot. And the Go Press
You've
is really
got
good. It turns itself
asbestos
off.
fingers, haven't you?
I have got asbestos fingers, yeah, from years of
But they're
cooking and
not,
chefing
they're
and
not
things.
scary. Just have a play.
No, they're not. It's a brilliant idea.
That's what crafting's all about, having a play.
Yeah.
Maxine has got one.
Oh.
So,
Maxine's.
Sorry, Maxine.
Sorry, Maxine. Ooh. Right. So, any more questions on those guys or that? Before we move on. Right. Final one of the evening. Triple stamping. So this is for you, Terry, and if you're not watching, I should be very annoyed now.
Terry's here.
So,
Yeah,
what I've got is, where did I put that? Oh, it's there. So what I've done is, I'm going to use the Deer Mountain scene. I've cut 3 pieces of card. So I've literally cut this first one. If we look at the sizes, it's 5.5 by 4. Yeah. I've dropped an inch then. So I've done the next piece at 4.5 by 3 and then 3.5 by 2, and I'm just going to place them all evenly in a line. So I've built a little pyramid.
Oh, I get what you mean now, what we're doing.
Does that make sense? Yeah, I was trying to explain this to Sam earlier, and I don't think you quite...
I didn't understand. I thought it's just talking, crafting, malarking, I don't know.
But what I used to do was put a little bit of tape between them or a little bit of spray glue. It's fine with a platform. I'm going to put one of the templates on so that I can get my stamp in the right place. Because obviously my stamp's not clean, and I want to go through, after I've done this, I want to go through a few basic stamping with people, because a few people have asked. Close my lid and pick it up. Yeah, so my stamp is now stuck to the lid. Take away my acetate, and I'm going to ink the stamp. Now, I got the ink out earlier I was going to use.
Which one? What colour?
VersaFine Onyx Black, it's there. I moved it away because I'm an idiot.
Not going to comment.
So I'm going to ink my stamp.
Hi, Linda.
Right. So giving it a good ink, tappity tap. So you're doing the cha-cha-cha, you're not doing the tango with it. Just tap, no. Making sure we're tapping the ink on. Okay. Close my press and give it a really good press. And remember, as I always say, you're putting the lid on a Tupperware. You're trying to get the air out. Yeah? So it's more about pressing everywhere than pressure. It's not the amount of pressure you're using, it's making sure you're pressing everywhere. Yeah? Okay. Lift it off. Can you see then? Okay. I've got my design, but obviously it's missed where the edge goes over. And the simple answer is it does. It's the next bit that covers that that makes the trick work. So I'm going to take those pieces out of my stamp press. And then what I've done is I've prepped 3 mats for this. So if you remember, the first piece, smallest piece, yeah, was 2 by 3.5. So this next piece, this black piece, is 2 1/8 by 3.5 1/8. So I've added 1/8 of an inch on. So I use your mini glue.
I think the acetate sheets are still available on Hochanda.
I'm not sure. I think so. I can't remember what they were in with.
We'll have a look afterwards and let you know.
Yeah. So just a little bit of glue. Okay. So I'm going to glue the middle panel nicely to the centre of the first one. I'm going to take the next panel and I'm going to glue that. There we go. Down to the next one, and this one was cut again 1/8 of an inch bigger. So this one will be 4.5 1/8 by 3 1/8. And then I'm going to take the final piece and again just glue. I love this little bottle, it's easy to squeeze.
Mine.
It is yours. I had to buy a lot so that Sammy could have his own. As soon as I showed it, I had one sent through. As soon as I showed it, it was like, Sammy, have that. Sammy, mine.
It's mine.
So, right, okay. I'm just going to put that one on. And so this one is again cut. So we did 5.5 by 4. So this is 5.5 1/8, 4 1/8. So I've got my 3 layers. I've got a little bit of a card blank here, cut a little bit bigger. So I put foam tape on the back of each of the black mats just to speed it up. So mat 1 goes on. Take foam tape off mat 2 and that goes on, and you match the design. Okay, number 3 goes on, and a tip I actually told, is your mum watching?
She's probably gone off.
Gone off by now. If you're watching, Alison, this is what I was talking about earlier. If you're worried about your foam tape grabbing too quickly, just put a couple of little blobs of glue onto it. That will cushion it and stop the adhesive grabbing straight away from the foam tape. So what we do then is, you see I can move that around a little bit more. The foam tape's not grabbing, and match the pattern. There we go. Stick that one on. And then when we're done, it looks as if we've stamped over 3, and you can't see the missing bits of the design. What happens is the black line tricks your eye and almost covers up where you've actually gone. So you can see there, the design works, but it looks like you've been clever and stamped it 3 times and cut it out. You haven't, you've just triple stamped it.
Linda McFadden, they are available on Hochanda as a bundle.
Right, that was quick.
With the template sheets and magnets as well.
Oh, of course you get the magnets, spare magnets in, don't you? I need some more of those, actually.
Any tips, Jonathan?
Any tips?
Yeah, about, I'm quite new to all this, but I'm forever getting glue seeping out the edges and spoiling my cards. Any tips?
Yeah, what I would say is, you're either using too much glue, which is 90% of the problem, or you're using the wrong glue. You're using a very thin glue. if you saw what I did there, I'll stick a mat on to show you. Now, let's look at this one. Let's move that machine out of the way a minute. Let's cut a line for it. So if I grab a piece of black card from my stash of many colours, let's move you. So I'll cut a mat 5 by 7. I've got a bit of wasted card blank here, so this is 5.5, 7.5. Yeah. So I want to glue this onto here. Now, one of the things I say this, and I will constantly say this, I say it in demos. If you're watching TV, you're watching demos, and what they do is they take the glue and they scribble it all over, like that. I always think it's because it's crap glue. My personal opinion, you don't need that much. All you need, and I'm going in about 1/4 of an inch, yeah? And I count still, you know, years on, and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is more than enough glue, of a decent glue. And I mean, I like the Craft Artist because it's thick. See there where I've got a blob? That started. I'm just going to pull that out a bit. Any excess, wipe it under the table like you would do with your chewing gum in a restaurant.
I bet your mum hated you when you were a kid.
God, no, I didn't get away with things like that. Don't be silly.
No, you'd been flat.
Should have put me in prison. But then look, as I press down really hard, no glue is seeping out. But also, if you look, and hopefully you can get this, that's completely flat. Now, I would say it's mainly because the Craft Artist glue is high in acrylic and low in water, and it's the water content that makes your card warp. So, but by doing it that way, if you can see, there's absolutely no seepage of glue around it. I think that's probably your problem, either wrong glue or too much. But again, if you're scrubbing it on all over the place, you're going to have too much glue. So try and follow that.
Hope that helps, Julie.
I hope so. Right, one more. We've got time for one more quick thing?
Yeah, it's about stamping.
Yes. Now, so that was 5 by 7. So I'm cutting a piece of stamping card to just shorter than the mat I put on the black. So you can see I'm making this up as I go along. So this is actually nearly 5 by nearly 7. So I'm going to put that in. Okay. Let's turn it over. Let's turn it on that side. Me and my mucky fingers again. Okay. I'm going to secure the card down. Now, want to explain about this. I've had quite a few people asking and saying about clear stamps not stamping. So this is my personal opinion. I will ask Sam kindly. In fact, I've got the link. We'll put, there's a link, there's a video that someone I know, Sharon, I'd say she's a friend of mine now. She wasn't at the time she did it, so I don't want it to think it's biased. She did an independent review of all the stamping platforms out there. She videoed it. Stop doing it. You do that just to annoy me, don't you? But she did an independent video, independent review of the stamping platforms that were available at the time when she did it. And she gave her honest independent review. And it did, this came out the strongest, but that's not the reason why I'm going to share it. But I've had quite a lot of people saying about clear stamps not stamping. I just want to go through a couple of bits of basic with you.
Cynthia, I'll answer your question at the end.
Right, okay, you're not going to tell me what it is either. You're going to leave me thinking. Right, okay, look, physics, I'm going to go through physics now, which is going to put a lot of people in the cold. I can see Sam's going completely blank. But there's a rule in physics, and the rule in the universe, that every action has an opposite reaction. And if you put pressure on somewhere, it has to go somewhere. So if you think about it, if you've got a hard base, hard surface, you've got hard card and you put that on top. You've got a hard lid in the lid of your base, the lid of your stamping platform, and then you've got a hardish stamp. If you push those together, they will almost, the stamp can either squidge, because that will give because of the pressure, or the stamp won't actually meet everywhere because there's nothing to take the pressure of you pushing. So I always say, that's why I love my Press to Impress. you need to use with clear stamps, whether you're using an acrylic block or you're using a stamp press, you need a piece of foam in there. Something squidgy that will take the pressure. Yeah? So if you're using an acrylic block, I used to use the Phil Martin stamping mat. You know, I'd recommend that to anyone who's using stamping acrylic blocks. Don't stamp onto the hard surface, you need that. But I prefer this. Now, if you haven't got any foam in your stamping platform and you're using clear stamps, my personal opinion, I would put some foam in. So, I've got my card and always wedge it top and the side. Because if it moves, I can put it back. The stamp won't. Again, I'm going in with my template. That means I can take my stamp and I can move it round because my stamp isn't clean.
Magnets.
And that's the other thing I want to go through. So I'm going to pick it up. Yeah. I'm then going to move the magnets so that they're not touched by the stamp. See? Can check without putting any pressure on or marks on. But the other thing I want to go through is my stamp is mucky. It is not clean. If I use a brand new clean stamp, the ink can resist. If you think about it, you're putting a water-based product onto a piece of plastic. So it will ball up in the same way as if, in actual fact, bear with me, guys. Sorry about this. I feel like I'm doing a lecture now, and I don't mean to.
June.
Is this helping anybody? I really hope so.
June Smith, you can. You can buy foam replacement mats. You can.
Yes, you can. I've got one in there, actually. I never use it.
And then I say it and Maxine's like that. Yes, you can.
Yes. Well, Maxine knows everything, bless her.
Well,
right, there we go.
She even knows that we were at Radley today. Oh,
she does. Right, okay, so this is a brand new stamp. It's a brand new Nelly stamp that I bought and I've not used because I'm a nightmare for not using things once I've bought them, but don't tell Sam that because she'll shout at me.
Who opens most of the post? Me.
Yeah, that's true. Can you see? Right, so this is a brand new clean stamp, okay? Going to ink it, but look. Can you see how the ink is not as straight, it's not as flat. It's almost balling up. It's really hard to give you the right impression. Can you see what I mean, Sam?
You can sort of tell it on
right. It's not going, and no matter how much I keep going, it's not doing it. So what I tend to do...
It's almost bubbling.
Yeah, it is. It bubbles on top. So when I stamp that, it's not quite as clear and crisp as it would be. Actually, it's come out quite nice. I'm not going to pretend. But once the third impression of a stamp will give you a better impression. I mean, I'm going to go to that one now. Yeah, so the third impression is the best. Keep your stamps mucky, and it means that when I ink this, hopefully Sam can go in, and the same again, tapping the ink on. But can you see there, the ink is shiny, and it's not resisting, it's not balling up, it's not going into little bubbles. So it's always better. See there, hopefully. Again, only my opinion. If you disagree, that's fine. But what's what I've found over years of having to learn stamping, because trust me, when I started with Creative Expressions, I was an atrocious stamper. So all I'm going to do is then just go and press everywhere. But can you see as I press, as it's going down and it's pushing into the foam, and that's helping the card to connect. Without that, you're going on against a hard surface. So we'll just press it everywhere, because I'm boring Sam now. And myself, aren't I?
No?
Yeah, I know. There we go. Clear, crisp impression. First time. No worries or anything. Because the stamp, but it's nice and clean. Even though you look at the stamp, it looks dirty. That's not what's coming across. I'm getting all those fine lines. So, okay, because I don't want to be too boring, we'll do a really quick technique. So I'm going to take some, I've used VersaFine Onyx Black. He's shouting at me now. Put some onto the lid of my press to impress.
Quick question before you go.
Yeah.
What if you want to change the colour and you just stamped? You just stamp it off, don't you? Or
Stamp
you use
it
the stamp
off,
cleaner?
or use the stamp cleaner.
There you go.
That's what I do, and I give it a wipe. Let's say on this one, I wanted to suddenly change the colour on this one. I give it a wipe on the stamp cleaner, takes the main bit off the top, but leaves the priming there, and lets me then ink with a different colour. So I'd use the stamp cleaner.
What about if you're using Versamark as well? Is that the same?
You should never have to change it if you're using Versamark.
There you go.
Yeah, it preps it the same. So all I'm doing is picking up a little bit of the black VersaFine Onyx, just to give me a grey. And all I'm doing is roughly adding some grey colour into where the white is, if that makes sense. It's what it gives. You get a really nice monochrome look with this. So just taking it in. There we go. But rather than everything being stark white, it gives you that little bit of distance. So wherever there is a lot of white, I've just got standard water in this water brush. So there's nothing, it's not alcohol, it's not bleach. There we go, let's just colour that one. But there we've got the foreground done. And I'm going to scribble off to the edges as well, because I'm not going to trim this down. I want this to sort of be able to work. Yeah, okay. I'm then going to take some more, a little bit more water, and put it a little bit darker. Let it be, let it have blotches. Yeah, we're not looking for smooth. If we're looking for smooth, we'd use, you know, grey ink or something. I want it to look as if you've sort of hand drawn or sketched or coloured it.
Hi, Rochelle.
And I'm going to fill in this little bit here. It's lovely if you do this in sepia. There we go, let's take that off to the edge. But you get a real simple, quick watercolour effect. There we go, just like that. And all I do if I want to add a bit in the sky, add a little bit more water. And I'm just going to hold my brush right at the end and pull it along. Yeah, literally. So I've got no control because it's right at the end. And that way I put that little bit of sky in. There we go. So you can see there. And to finish it off, we'll do, and hopefully with the glue we'll all remember this. So we go about 1/4 inch in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. More than enough. And we'll put that onto our little card blank that we made earlier. There we go. Okay, and there we go. A little hand painted, hand sketched scene. And then here we've got the triple stamping version. But hopefully that gives you some ideas and goes through some of the reasons why you may find stamps don't actually stamp, and why, and some of the different things you can do. But that's the same stamp in 2 different ways. To me, looks, you know, totally different. And just to bring in, I shouldn't do this. This was from the Craft Cave Live a couple of weeks ago, with a bauble. So exactly the same stamp again. This time used with the bauble technique to do that. But you really can get a completely different look by how we actually use it. And there you go, guys. So
Cynthia, John will not be at, is it Stamping Live it's called in Doncaster?
is it Stamp Magic?
Stamp Magic.
I'm not.
He's not there in Doncaster, I'm afraid. John for October is...
Do you want me to read them? Because I can see from here.
John will be at Crafting Live Peterborough.
I'm at Crafty Corner.
No, we're just doing the events.
the events. I will be at, yes. I've got a demo day at Coleman's, haven't I, on the 5th of December, 5th of October.
Get the right
I know.
month.
So I'm at Coleman's in Rushden on the 5th. I'm on Achanda the 7th and 8th. I'm at Inspirations on the 9th. Is that right?
We're just doing the shows.
Oh, right, the
As
shows.
in-
Sorry.
I told you that. But...
I'm at Crafting Live in Peterborough on the 18th and 19th. I'm not at Stamp Magic, I'm afraid, because I was already booked in Coleman's for a workshop.
And then NEC.
NEC, I am visiting the NEC.
We are both.
We are both visiting. So
Because
you get to see both of us.
I'm looking forward to my, well, what we call it, dinner tea with Leslie.
You're looking forward to your dinner with Leslie. Yes.
Rob.
And Rob. So we're going to be at the NEC on the Thursday. We're going to be on the Art of Craft stand for a couple of hours in the morning, saying hello to everybody and chatting. And then we're going to actually do the show and keep popping back.
You get to shopping.
Yeah, the fabulous Leslie Lakin, who is one of the angels, will be standing in for me at the NEC. She's going to be demoing all 4 days. I'm sure she doesn't know what she's let herself in for. She is truly amazing. So please pop by the Art of Craft stand and see what she's doing, because she really is inspirational. I'd love to show you the samples that arrived this morning for the show on Thursday. No. I can't, but they're beautiful. I've got Leslie's, I've got Bev's, and I've got June's, and they're all gorgeous. I love the double window on June with the white round it. I think I've already messaged you that, but it's stunning. So that'd be great. So that's it. I think that's everything, is it?
Yep. Craft Cave Live will be on Wednesday at 7 p.m. with an exclusive look at what has been launched on Chanda on Thursday at 6 p.m.
Oh, can I show them the glitter touch then?
What glitter touch?
Glitter touch.
What are you on about?
That's on Thursday, isn't it? You know.
What are these?
Yeah.
That have been in shot already?
Have they?
Yes.
Oh, well, they shouldn't have been in shot.
If anyone is very sneaky, they would see something that was on my left-hand side.
That they shouldn't have
that
seen.
you
They
should have
shouldn't,
seen.
really genuinely
But
shouldn't have seen.
We'll wait for you to try and guess what it is.
We will have the fabulous new glue glaze as well. I'll show you a bit more about that. And the mini bottle, he's so sweet. I want to call him Bob. So, any other questions, guys? Get them in ready for Wednesday. Wednesday is just showing through the samples and what we've got live, but we can answer any questions sort of on air for you as well. Anything else you want to see, we'll be back with Craft Cave Live, proper edition, next.
Oh, let's have a look.
Let's have a look.
As you can see, I found a 2019 wall calendar and cut it down.
So let's have a look. Where are we now?
Well, we're going to be in October, aren't we?
Yeah, so we're here, are we? No, we're here, 23rd. So we're doing Wednesday.
We could do it, no, week after.
Yeah, because it's a long time.
No, go back to September. We'll do one at the end of September. We'll do it on Sunday after Intricates.
Yeah, okie dokie. So we'll
Oh,
do one.
no, we can't.
Why?
Because you've got Intricates and Matt and Ash, so you can't.
Oh, no, I can't. With Full Craft Cave Live, get your suggestions and things in. Message Sam.
I'll put a post out.
He'll put a post out, put them on there. Craft Cave Live on Wednesday, exclusive preview of what's coming out on Thursday. And I think that's everything. I will see you this week, Thursday on Achanda and Friday at Achanda, and then on Saturday, is it a workshop at Inspirations? No, that's October, isn't it?
Okay, John's getting a bit confused. What we'll do is we'll see you at Craft Cave Live on Wednesday at 7 p.m.
I know what I'm doing. Until then, take care, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye, everyone.